ke asenayo nithi ke abo nithi nihleli nathi nibe busy nabanye abantu.
Akufuneki baba. Nami ngibala lapho. Phela bekhulunywa ngami. Ngiya-understanda lento ayishoyo ithi ku-rude ukuba sefonini uhleli nabantu. Kodwa benginga-expect ukuthi mhlawumbe understande ngoba umsebenzi sometimes uyinto kuphela ebeka iphalishi etafuleni. Manje mangabe uzoyeka ukusebenza kuzoba inkingana ngoba kunabantu engibacelile ukuthi bangimele.
Buka ke
Basically, in this clip, what happened was they were on a family vacation and they were waiting for food. So obviously they were waiting for food. A lot of people were on their phones, and one of the people who were on their phones was Makhumalo. And Musa basically was shouting at them, talking about how disrespectful they are. He is here. They often complain that they don't spend time with him. He was basically expecting one by one to actually say what's going on in their lives. And I think everyone started taking away their phones except Makhumalo. So he just lost it and he was like, why you continue doing that? And Makhumalo obviously felt bad. She realized that her being on her phone is actually quite bad when it's time for family time. So she removed all those messages and stopped her work commitments, because she was also basically saying that yes, we are on a family trip, but the reality is we're still working. You know, I couldn't take proper leave. I had to ask work for some time off, but that doesn't mean that work must just accept that I want to go on vacation and work must stop for me. You know, I still had to answer people's needs, especially since I'm the one who's at the top. Certain things cannot be done, or certain things cannot be approved if I don't say. So if I don't say, that means the business is on stop, and that's basically why I was answering those messages. And Musa didn't understand. But the funny thing is, literally 2 to 3 minutes later, Musa gets a phone call and he answers it. And the way Makhumalo looked at Musa, she wanted to like, and the fact that it was a work call. And then Musa was like, I had to literally answer this call because this is the call which puts food on our table. And that is when Makhumalo was like, but he's being a hypocrite because I also had to answer messages which was also putting food on my table, you know. So the fact that she said that really showed, number one, how narcissistic Musa is, how he definitely feels like certain things cannot be done by wives, but when he does it, it's absolutely fine, and they need to accept and they need to remember that he is the man of the house. Yet the reality is his wives are providing at the same time, you know. In fact, if Makhumalo wasn't working, do we think that certain things would be able to be provided? I mean, we learned in season 8 that Makhumalo is the one who's actually paying for all these wives' car insurances, and we know car insurance is not cheap. On top of that, remember when Musa got sick? I definitely do think that not only did she take out that 100,000, which obviously she was paid back with, but I definitely do think she went a little bit more with other necessary tests, etc. Because I mean, Musa has to take medication every single month unless they forced him to go on medical aid after that. But how is he able to actually get all of that? I don't even think he's the one who's actually buying that. There's someone who is, and I'm sure it's Makhumalo. So the fact that he expects to be the only one working, but at the same time he expects his wives to come on the table and sort out monetary issues is wild to me. It's the same conversation as some of these houses have not been fixed or done for quite some time. Even Umacele was complaining that when you only give me about 2K after you've actually taken care of groceries. But you give me about 2K, you don't give me the money that I'm actually supposed to be worth. So honestly, if you're a wife who's going to wait for Musa, and I'm speaking to you, Usamke, you're going to get a shock of your life. So unfortunately, the reality is you must be a working wife, but at the same time, you can't actually live the realities of a working wife, because we all know that sometimes when you do go on vacation, as much as you don't want to answer those work calls or those work emails, but unfortunately, you have to. That's the reality. There are some weekends where I have to answer emails and phone calls and I don't want to, and my partner sometimes also is like, how I thought you were off, but the reality is it's work. So it's only acceptable when it's Musa Mseleku, but when it's another wife, no, it's not. She needs to basically tailor to him. And it also goes back to that stupid rule that the wives had to come back by a certain time, by 5 o'clock. And I also found it funny that he gave all those rules to specifically Makhumalo. It just shows me that he's been so used to grooming her for all these years and that she just listens. So when to him she looks like she's retaliating or she has a voice, all of a sudden it's a problem, in my opinion. But anyway, do comment down below your thoughts. Do you think that it should only be Musa who's allowed to be on his phone? Because technically he has this belief that he's the one who's bringing the money on the table. Or do you think that he was quite unfair when it came to the situation of understanding that Makhumalo, yes, she took leave, but she still has responsibilities. Anyway, we have come to the end of today's video. Don't forget to let me know down below your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe and hit that post notification bell down below. Till next time, love and light. Mwah. Bye.